Welcome aboard.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Oh, my volume up a little. That was nice. Like that. Hi. It is the day before the 4th of July, which would make, the 3rd? If I'm correct? Yeah. Before the 4th? So it's like Friday for everyone. Pretty much. Everyone gets off tomorrow, I think. Yes, Chippa?
I ain't got nothing to say.
Oh. Wow. That's a first.
I'm just reading the fucking paper.
Oh, right. I guess he does have something to say.
Today's the fucking pre-holiday show.
Fucking pre-holiday show. Yes, it is.
Chip thinks he's cool. Curses.
I miss the 4th of Julys of old. I don't know. It seems like there aren't as many illegal fireworks out there. I remember as a kid, you just heard it. It was constant from like the first day of summer up until August.
Do you drive with your windows in the city? Are you afraid to let your windows be rolled down because you're afraid of some black kids are going to throw firecrackers into your window?
Black kids. That's
what I was always scared of growing up. Is that the black kids from the neighborhood would throw firecrackers in my window? Never happened.
Of course not. That's hilarious. No, I never had that fear, but I'll try to work it up in my fear repertoire.
You put it on your fear lazy Susan.
My fear Rolodex. Frt, frt. Yeah, no, I never afraid of that, but it used to be just like you drive down your streets and there was that huge pile of papers from mats and mats of firecrackers that were set off the night before. Just, you don't see it anymore. Little bottle rockets at night, you just hear. Now it's just gone. You used to get those menus. Like there was always some fucking thug that was handing out those sheets of paper, and you just circle it like Chinese food. Yeah, I'll have some M80s. I'll grab some of these and give me 5 mats of fucking firecrackers, blackjacks. I want some blackjack firecrackers, M80s, and ash cans. What's the difference between an ash can and M80? I think M80s were stronger, but ash cans looked like M80s, but they were silver. Like an ash can. And there were cherry bombs.
Weren't you worried about blowing your... the message got through to me when I was a young boy.
Did it?
Dude, I was so scared of blowing my fingers off. I never held an M80.
No, but there's no greater thrill and no greater danger than holding an M80 and lighting it and throwing it. You could place on ground, light fuse, get away like a pussy. Like the instructions tell you to on the fireworks. But nothing like lobbing it. Let me tell you, you might have heard of a gentleman named Joey Cumia. My dad. Jesus Christ. I remember being, how old was I? Probably 7 years old. And Pops probably had a few with his friends hanging out on the 4th of July. And he had a paper bag full of M80s and thought it was a good idea to teach the kids how to throw the M80s. I was 7. And what he would do is he'd give me the M80. He'd tell me to, get my arm back there in throwing position. And he'd say, don't look at it. Just when I say throw, you throw. So I'd stand there petrified with my arm back, my head looking skyward, one arm forward. And he'd take his cigarette out. I wasn't crying there, Zippy. Thank you. Shut up, Jesus Christ, you faggot. And he would light it and go throw, and I would just throw as hard as I could, and boom, the fucking thing would explode. My tender little 7-year-old hand. You know what that I mean? It would have taken up to the elbow.
You'd be
would have
scared?
been gone. I'd have been maybe here today explaining why I had no arm and have to relay the same story, but having gone tragically wrong.
But you were scared when that would happen?
Petrified, nervous, shaking, like, ah. I liked the explosion. I liked watching, Dad light it. He would light it with his Tarryton cigarette and then look at the fuse burning down, like watch it, and then get rid of it in the air, and it would blow up in midair. I thought that was pretty goddamn cool. But he would have me throw it, and it would bounce on the ground a few times because I wasn't going to hold on to it. And he wouldn't be there and light it and then wait to say throw. he had some responsibility, I guess. That would be funny if he had me light it, if he lit it, and I just heard psst, and I didn't hear him say throw. I just start crying. And then holding Roman candles also. Foom, foom, foom.
You held them?
Yeah, those things are dangerous. I've seen them explode, ripping the cardboard tube completely apart. Roman candles. They're supposed to be pretty safe, you know? But, wow, very dangerous. Fireworks are fucking dangerous.
Dude, I guess I was a pussy. I remember, yeah, of course. But I remember lighting them bottle rockets and aiming them at the highway at traffic.
Oh, God damn.
Because we were on mescaline. I did that we were on mescaline.
Who were you with?
I think my friend Bill D'Angelo.
Good old Bill D'Angelo.
But I don't think we... I always got fireworks. Always fucking frightened me.
Where was Stanley?
Oh, I don't think I hung out with him at that point. I think that's after I stopped hanging out with Stanley and Mike. Hey, Stanley, go back. Let's throw some hot oil on him. He wanted to drain engine oil into a pan and throw it on a guy's chest.
Hilarious.
Who was hitchhiking?
It's hilariously medieval.
But I was always scared, man.
Yeah, it was petrifying.
You were one of those guys though that would have fun with them on fucking 4th of July.
I liked blowing things up. I wasn't a big fan of throwing them because that was kind of scary. But I was a big fan of blowing shit up, shoving M80s in things and then watching them explode. Garbage pails, mailboxes was a huge one. I loved blowing up people's mailboxes. Oh, you shove that M80 in, flip the door closed, and just run.
That's a man act.
That's a man act. Knocking down mailboxes, driving through people's backyards. M80 versus mailbox. Fucking rips it apart. Oh, here's a little video. And, wow. Fucking piece of mailbox came chasing after him.
Wow.
Yeah, they come apart. See mailbox come apart like that.
It really does fucking blow up a mailbox.
Yeah. Yeah, that was always fun. And then a friend of mine, Dave, he would come over the house. He worked at Struthers. They used to make like pipe fittings and stuff. It came apart nice. And he came home one 4th of July with this pipe with 2 caps. One cap had a hole in it. And Teflon tape wrapped around the metal because you didn't want to go bare metal to bare metal threads while you're screwing the cap on with gunpowder in there because it could friction.
Wait, is it, how would?
Oh, it's so
how
dangerous.
would that work?
Yeah. There's threaded ends.
Right.
There's pipe with 2 threaded ends, and you screw a cap on one end, and then you screw the top with a little hole in it on the other end after you fill the thing completely with hollowed out M80s. We would sit with a bag full of M80s, just poke a hole in the side with a screwdriver, and fill the pipe up with these M80 fucking gunpowder.
And then you would make love, sweet, sweet love to Sarah Connor. And
exactly.
Stop Skynet from taking the world over.
Yeah. But it's true. We'd wrap the threads with Teflon tape, which you use for to make a good seal on it usually. But in this case, it was to keep the friction from getting the metal hot and sparking and blowing your fucking friends up. Yeah, there you go. That's the scene.
Could that happen as you were putting the metal cap on?
It's happened so many times to people.
Really?
You can't even count it.
Wait, and then when they're threading something, the fucking thing just blows up?
Yeah, it just fucking explodes.
Oh my fucking
In
god!
a giant explosion of shrapnel, gunpowder, fire, and death.
How about if you close it really slow?
Well, even something slow under pressure, like threads screwing tightly, can still make enough friction. The speed doesn't really matter. That's a common misconception that can be deadly. You must lubricate the threads and or use Teflon tape around it.
But wouldn't the tape make the threads not grip?
No, Teflon tape contours to the size of the threads.
Oh, wow.
It really gets in there good. And it's very smooth and puts a nice little seal on everything.
And you knew that at that age?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm 43, and if you told me to do that right now, I'd blow my arms off.
So we would do that and then stick a fuse in the hole after everything was lit up with a little bit of clay in there to keep it from spilling out. And then you'd do a cigarette fuse, which was you'd smoke a cigarette a little bit, you break the filter off, shove it shove it on top of the fuse, and it would give you a good, 5-10 minutes before the ash burnt down enough to light the fuse. And then the fuse would light, and kaboomo. And we'd put it on these giant, like 6x6 posts that were in the ground to hold up big fences. And it would just blow the whole post apart. Like a railroad tie size fucking post. And just in the air, fucking sections of fence are tumbling and flying through the air. Looks great.
How many M80s would you drain?
It was probably a good, let me think now. With that, it could have been 30 M80s.
Wow.
It's just insane amount of fucking explosive power.
What does an M80 look like? I don't think I've ever held one.
M80's like it looks like a piece of cardboard tubing.
Almost, like a miniature cartoon stick of dynamite, almost.
Yeah,
like a red paper housing.
Yeah,
like that.
That's it, right
okay.
there.
Yeah, I've seen them.
The M80.
Oh, yeah, I have. Now, does it look like a cherry bomb, or is that shaped like a cherry?
Cherry bombs are round.
Oh, they are, okay.
And they were made out of some kind of fucking, what was that kind of made out of? Some kind of plastery clay kind of material, the cherry bomb.
Oh, they weren't the same thing?
No. And then the ash can was silver and looked kind of like an M80.
And the M80s were strongest of those three?
Yeah, that's what I used to know. Yeah, the cherry bomb. Those are cherry bombs.
What was a step up from an M80?
Quarter stick.
Oh, right. That's a quarter stick of dynamite?
Yeah, there were quarter sticks.
Would people have that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, people fucking 4th of July, man. Especially in white trash Long Island where I grew up. Man, were there a lot of people with fireworks. Your town thugs, the guys that would break into cars and steal stereos, and all those kids that started fires in the woods, and they were the ones that always had the fireworks on 4th of July. And they were the fun people to be around. Yeah.
Where would they get them?
I don't know. I guess some type of, there was always tiers of organized crime that would have it. I guess the mob would bring in the bulk of the fireworks and then dole them out to, the next guy down the ladder, and he would dole them out to the next guy. So by the time it got to the neighborhood thugs, it was, a few degrees of separation from the actual source. But I think a lot of organized crime was bringing in fireworks into neighborhoods. And when they cracked down on all that shit years ago, especially Giuliani, he had a big part in that.
Did he stop John Gotti's party one year or no?
Yeah. He was the one that pretty much stopped Gotti from having his giant 4th of July party.
Every year, Gotti would have a big one, the whole block party,
the whole block would love him. They'd fucking set off their own fireworks display. One year they had a short shot that went off and just lit the whole fucking neighborhood up on the ground. Yeah, a few of those mortars that were supposed to go up in the air didn't. So they're just flying around. I think a few people were injured, but nothing that serious.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, was that a quarter stick or?
Yeah, I think that's a quarter.
It's a quarter stick of dynamite why would you do it in a melon? Like,
look how festive it's decorated.
Yeah.
It's a quarter stick of dynamite, and it's got little swirls on it like a candy cane.
He's blowing it up on a tiny little bridge.
On a little fucking bridge.
It's M80. It's an M80 that it's a melon. Oh, that thing smokes too.
Yeah, the fuse is really. He's got a melon. It's going to be nothing left of that melon, of course.
You guys just blowing a melon apart. But,
oh, wow, that fucking blew up.
But an M80 would have done the same thing to it.
Yeah.
Just a fucking melon.
That's a big bang, though.
There's nothing funnier than watching somebody run away from a lit fuse.
It really is something. There's something very instinctual. When you see a lit fuse, you fucking run away.
You run.
Look, we're watching two guys light something, and they put a bucket on it, and they're running away. This thing will launch.
What is that they're doing?
They probably put an M80 underneath
there's
spackle
two guys
bucket.
in the
Wow, it just came apart. Didn't even launch. You take a metal garbage pail and turn it upside down over a quarter stick of dynamite, and that fucker will launch like a rocket.
People just like watching stuff blow up. It really is our ape side.
I wonder what that is.
It's the noise. Boom. Yeah. It's just the sound or the colors.
Yeah, we do like that.
It's cool just to make a loud boom or a big noise.
There is something, even like even the festive airburst fireworks from like the Macy's fireworks display and stuff like that. We love just looking up and looking at that. It's weird. this human thing. We just like it.
You know what it is? Because we know too much now. Like, we didn't know years ago that a star coming into the atmosphere was natural, so we thought it was godlike. And we're just jaded from all that stuff, so we kind of had to invent something to
Make it
impress
look
us. Yeah.
godlike. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. What's that one, Dan?
I'm just trying to find some good explosions.
Yeah. There's a lot of that shit. And you will hear after the 4th of July the horror stories and nightmares. Usually they entail blowing fingers off from M80s and stuff, but the worst thing is when that mortar doesn't go off out of the tube. You get like a nice 8-inch fucking mortar shell in a pipe, and they throw it in, light that fuse, and nothing happens, and someone shoves their face over the fucking mortar tube.
And it goes off.
And it goes off. Instantly just rips your head off.
That happens to people?
Yes. Astounding.
People lose their arms and stuff every year, right? Or their hands.
Yeah, there's just something that happens.
There's somebody right now who has a hand who will not have it tomorrow.
Your hand will be gone tomorrow.
In 36 hours.
How frightening is that? Yeesh.
I've seen a video of that once. I forget where. It was on one of my sites.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a guy with like an M80.
Oh, it was the whole thing. It showed it blowing up.
His arm was just, his hand was just ripped.
Oh.
We used to throw them at people too. Thick puppies would have M80 parties.
No, they probably didn't.
We'd light them up and just fucking play Ringalario catch.
Ringalario?
What's that?
What is the Ringalario?
It's catch.
I've heard of Ringalevio.
Oh, that's probably it.
There's a video on Interrobang. Yeah, I don't like watching that shit. I don't want to watch that. And a fireworks one, the anticipation's too much to watch.
Wait, what's the one? Someone's hand comes off on Terrorbang?
Yeah. I guess somebody lights an M80. And yeah.
I was always scared of that shit. What is that thing that we're looking at? It looks like just constant fire being shot up in the air.
Wow.
Someone taped 91 Roman candles together.
It looks like
that's pretty cool.
anti-aircraft artillery. That's like what in the night sky over Iraq during the Gulf War.
But how are they going off simultaneously,
cool.
like one after the other? How do they do that?
Well, I'm sure the lighting it. I mean, you got to get a lot of them going all at once.
Oh yeah,
Wow,
dumb.
that's pretty good.
I don't know anything.
That's pretty cool. People used to have Roman candle fights.
Yep.
You just hold the tube and go funk, 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 shooting them at each other.
Can't you get hurt?
Yes. Bottle rocket fights also.
Bottle rockets are less than Roman candles, though.
Yeah, but they'll take an eye out pretty fucking soundly, I would imagine. You know?
Especially when you break them off and then you have a fun nickname for them.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, boy. Boy, the black people sure never got cut a break, even when naming wacky fireworks.
Something Chaser.
Yes.
Can't remember.
Oh, I know that one.
Just... and they're just going wild down the street.
Yeah, or when you're in school and your friends decide to put them off in the like the staircase. You know, where's that little enclosed staircase area?
Down the hallway. And there was always the kid that you knew you could give the fireworks to if you had them, but didn't have the balls to light them off.
You ever play with those little pop snap things that they look like little sperms and you throw them on the ground?
Yeah.
It's always fun when one lands right inside of your ear and goes off.
They used to do that?
Yeah, it happened to me when I was a kid, sure.
Man.
Went right into the ear canal and popped. I heard ringing for probably 3 days.
Oh, and then the sawdust from inside it gets all in your head.
That shit was itchy.
Shit makes you itch.
And people still buy those today. That's like one of those dangerous toy things that no one's said, hey, you can't play with that yet.
Yeah, kind of
nice.
Seems dangerous.
Those and those two balls that you could kind of smash together with the gunpowder on it. It would just kind of spark and make a bang.
Yeah, they had like cap material on them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how the parents decide what's safe and what's unsafe because there's no way that's like a safe toy for a child.
It doesn't seem very safe. No.
You can still get bomb bags.
Bomb bags?
Which is a little foil bag that you would squeeze and then throw, and then the bag blows up.
Yeah. It's like got like water in it.
Yeah.
And then there'd be a chemical that you could hit, and I remember those. It's like a car bomb or something.
When I was a kid, we used to go like to the Kmart parking lot.
Yeah.
One time I took a whole pack of firecrackers. I just lit it and threw it into the parking lot.
You probably didn't.
Yeah, I think he's making it up.
You probably didn't.
Yeah, I did. We just threw them in the parking lot.
The parking lot.
You think that's a lame 4th of July?
Terrible. Terrible. Yeah, those things are stupid.
Yeah.
They're just little water packs that you squeeze, and I guess it reacts with whatever chemical is in there.
It's probably just baking soda, right?
Yeah,
baking
it's something.
soda,
It's just
vinegar,
pressure. It's not an explosive thing. It's like the pressure going
the
off.
stink bombs, like the school stink bombs. Those were so terrible.
Stank bombs.
They never really stank. It was just like, oh, it smells like sulfur.
A lot of smoke. It smelled like sulfur. Yeah.
There was a good line in Justice for All at Pacino where he was saying, remember the big thing they had on him in Justice for All was that he had turned in one of his own clients, and that was what Judge was blackmailing him.
Yeah.
And he said that he was telling me these sick fantasies he had about what would happen if he put a cherry bomb in somebody's mouth.
Oh, God.
And he said that one of his clients was putting cherry bombs in people's mouths.
People's mouths?
Just to watch it go off. How terrible.
Oh.
Would that kill you?
Oh, probably would, yeah. Blow
cherry
your
bomb?
fucking head off, yeah.
But an M80 would definitely kill you.
Oh, yeah. Hell's yeah. Oh, my God, I got to take another dump.
You got to shit again?
Well, yeah.
When's the last time you shit? I don't know why I'm saying.
Like last night, though.
It's funny.
Not here.
But you said another dump, and I'm acting like you've been shitting all morning.
No. I know. I'm squirming in my seat. We don't have to go a whole hour before we take a break.
Take a break right now.
Right now.
Why don't you go take your shit?
I'll take my dumpies
and I'll
come
jerk
back.
off thinking about it. Be right back.
All right.
This is the Opie and Anthony Channel on Sirius XM.
Who's that old guy over there? Uncle Paul, with the creepy old guy stare. Uncle Paul, now he's coming over here, slowly limping down the hall. It's too late now, 'cause here comes Uncle Paul.
Let me show you how to make a big boy love you.
In today's episode, Uncle Paul remembers presidential candidate Rick Santorum.
I like Rick Santorum. Sure. He looks like a lot of my friends. Wears the sweaters. And he's got the Anson Williams hairdo. I would file trade with a guy that looked like Rick Santorum. He would always go, I don't like the gays. I'd go, me neither. But it don't count when they're really young and you're just trying to teach them. We would teach them how to kiss. You got to sit them down, you put them on your lap, you go, now here's what you do with the lady. And you take the shirt off and you rub the back a little. And then you just plant one on the neck and you whisper something. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Open your mouth. If you kiss too hard, sometimes I'd get crazy and we would lay on the beach like I was Montgomery Cliff. Yeah, whatever it's called, from over there to eternity or something. I'd pretend there was seaweed on us. And I'd kiss real hard and they'd go, ow, your whiskers. I'd go, why are you talking? And they'd say, you're kissing my butt. You just teach him how to kiss. And you got to keep telling him, close your eyes. You look frightened. You got to make him close the eyes. People like that better in the pictures. Paul, you got to ask them. They look frightened. Damn kids messing up the pictures. A lot of parents said, what happened to his face, Mr. Hoggis? He fell. He skinned it on the rug.
Who's that old guy over there? Uncle Paul, with the creepy old guy stare. Uncle Paul, now he's coming over here, slowly limping down the hall. It's too late now, 'cause here comes Uncle Paul.
Sirius XM. Sirius XM. The Opie and Anthony Show.
Oh, that's a bit boisterous for this hour of the morning. I don't know if people want to awaken to this type of music.
Oh, I don't think they do either. You wake up with, what, a bunch of heavy metal people standing on your bed strumming away.
Well, it's just crazy. Perhaps some Engelbert Humperdinck at this hour.
I like to wake up slowly, a little something with the volume slowly raised.
Slowly coming up, something nice and melodic. Not this noise that the kids listen to.
This will make you jump out of bed and fall all over your slippers and hurt yourself.
I don't like it one bit.
And I can tell you that you're not the only one. We could both do this entire break like this, and I would enjoy it.
Totally. Hi, everyone. Good morning.
That goddamn Uncle Paul song, I tell you.
Isn't it nice?
Yeah, that was a good piece of production. That dumb song.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
What's any progress reports on Steve? See where do you go?
It's not.
Huh? No.
What's he doing? He was doing a.
Because honestly, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just started his wife's workout again. MJ had written me a good workout program, and I stopped it, of course, for a long time because I'm a lump.
What did it say? do the opposite of what Steve does.
Well,
What's he doing?
He was production and rock jock on some rock station in, middle of Pennsylvania.
Like Wilkes-Barre or something, right?
Yeah, somewhere like that.
Well.
And he was doing middays, and then he got moved to nights.
Wait, was he on the air?
He was.
I didn't know that.
Oh, look at that. It's a little website.
And, but he has since lost his position with the station.
What, was it him or was it
I don't know. Eric, the station didn't flip, did it?
No, but they laid off a bunch of people.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they just completely,
That sucks.
They probably have one guy at voice track and everything now?
Yeah, exactly.
They went automated.
We know how
Okay.
that goes. It's
So
not
it's
a
nothing
fun
personal.
thing.
It's just
No, it wasn't him.
it's one less salary to pay, one less insurance benefits.
Exactly.
That's a rough gig, man. I mean, anybody. The one thing about being funny, so they say, is at least you can always work.
Yeah, there's a commodity you have that can't really be
You
replaced
can't voice
by,
track.
Yeah, a computer.
Yeah,
Computer.
although our show probably could be voice tracked.
Yeah.
Just one guy who hates himself and one guy who does this and one
Psychopath. Just play old Clan fucking tape.
Mulata, mongrel class of people.
Oh, that must be Anthony. What?
Do you know, I was so angry the other night when I was on my way to your place, because we just weren't kissing yet.
Yes.
And when the fucking thing wasn't working.
Oh, yeah.
I was screaming in the car
epics.
by myself. My head still hurts for 2 days.
Oh, my
the
God.
special?
I made myself sick yesterday. I was supposed to shoot
You
with
did.
DeRosa yesterday.
You did.
Yeah, and I feel so terrible because 2 nights, the night before last, I was walking like an old, when you're sick, you have like a flu, it's old man walk.
You do the shuffle. Yeah.
Dude, I couldn't, I went to the cellar because I had to do a spot, and I felt like if I feel this way tomorrow, I'm not going to be able to shoot.
You're the consummate professional. How the fuck you go to the cellar and do a spot after being that angry, feeling that sick? I don't know.
It's not even professional, it's desperation.
Oh.
It's desperation. But I did a short set. I told Artie, I'm like, I can't do a full set. I don't feel well. But I think I made myself physically ill. I can't yell like that. It's fucking bad for you.
It's so bad.
That stress is fucking bad.
It's just bad.
And in the end, it will be okay.
No, you don't.
You don't.
No, you really don't know in the end.
But you just feel like, of course, I'm a loser. Things get messy. It brings up all that other. It's always something else that it brings up.
Yeah.
Like about very rarely are we that mad about whatever it is in the moment. It's always fucking.
Yep. Yeah.
All this other shit that comes pouring. It's like you crack the door and everything comes fucking falling out of the closet. You're getting hit with residual stuff from 1975. But it was just, oh my God, I literally, if I coughed out, the whole back of my head.
It still hurts.
The whole back of my head hurts.
Wow.
You're screaming at your manager?
Not at him, though. No, I wasn't mad at him. I was just mad that it happened. Like, it was like,
But he's the one who had to.
Yeah, but I was telling him, like, John, I'm not, I said this yesterday, but I let him know that it's not him.
Yeah.
But that's still unpleasant. I owe him an apology that he had to listen to this shit on a Saturday night.
That's their job.
I guess so.
That's their fucking job.
You know what? Fuck him, you're right. They have to hear stuff that you can't say to other people.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I've said stuff to Bob Eaton that I couldn't call the fucking management here and say.
No, that's what they're there for.
Motherfucker! Because you can't. Because once you say stuff like that to your boss, you're fired.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't unsay shit to a network executive or to an a casting director or whatever. You can't unsay that stuff.
And it's very hard to say it to friends and family because they kind of don't get it. What's going on, really. So they're there to yell at. How do you think they're earning their fucking percentage?
Yeah.
Getting the gigs? No. It's getting yelled at.
They're the buffer. You're right.
Yeah.
Fuck,
buffers.
you're right.
Plenty of buffers.
Plenty of buffers, yeah.
Plenty of buffers.
That's true, because if you call your family, they don't get...
No, they don't really know. They don't understand why you're so mad. I thought it was all fun and games, the business you're in.
Yeah.
What's that, like fun?
Just screaming about it and fucking cursing.
Yeah.
The online feed's not working. And my mother would be like, oh, but what, can't you just go and do the show again? Ma, you're not getting it.
Come here, I'll feed you. No, you don't get it.
You're not getting it, Ma.
Oh, Chip, Mom Chip.
So I have a fucking headache for like 2 days, man.
Oh,
it's very bad. I think
so
I did some real damage.
Yeah. You probably
Yes.
blew up some fucking brain cells. Jesus.
That's scary.
Oh, man.
I need some fucking serenity.
Yeah, serenity now.
I don't know if it's worth it.
What?
It's not worth being that mad about it.
No, it's not. It's not. You gotta keep a little more calm. Everybody should try that. I used to go completely batshit in the car when things weren't going my way as far as driving goes. I still, believe me, I'm not a happy camper when things happen on the road that could be avoided. But for the most part, I'm not yelling, hitting the steering wheel and the dashboard and screaming to myself in the car. You got to just take it as it comes. What are you gonna do? That's my logic. What are you gonna do?
Can that type of a rage explosion really be?
Oh my God, it's so bad.
It is bad for you, right?
Blood pressure goes through the roof.
That's what it is, man.
Fucking,
It's fucking. And from here, Kenny, it's fun. It's from. Let's just talk between me and Kenny. It's code for. Because he was rubbing my leg and I was pointing at my cock. I said, right here, Kenny.
You finally got the message.
Fuck, that's scary, man.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
2 days, fucking got a headache.
The front page of a lot of the papers today is this Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes episode because they're busted up. She's not wearing a ring anymore. Who do tell? They got a big picture of her on the front page, and they have her finger circled with a red circle where the ring used to be.
Oh, I thought that was the ring.
No, it's not.
She had a bigger one.
That would be a dumb ring. Yeah, the big red circle around her hand. And now she's supposedly walking around with a security team to combat these Scientology thugs that have allegedly been following her around.
And the post has a very funny picture.
Yeah,
it's Tom Cruise's face. This one is not even a drawing; it's a painting.
Yeah,
it's like with little funny alien horns in a giant like glass spaceship,
and like a Jetsons car.
Yeah, a Jetsons car.
Yeah, he's in the Jetsons car, so he's in a little spaceship because that's the Scientology people. And Katie was afraid that they were going to take their daughter. Scientology people were going to kidnap her daughter and send her to that Sea Org thing. Well, I said yesterday on this very program that I was going to go home and do a little studying on this whole Scientology thing. And boy, did I ever.
You did.
I went to what they call, what do the kids call it? The YouTube. Went to the YouTube and went to the Apple TV so I could watch it on my television and looked at a couple of these documentaries on Scientology. And I got to say, what I concluded, what a bunch of kooks. Fucking nuts. Wow. And very intimidating, scary, and from what I could see, dangerous people.
Really?
And I'm not afraid to say it. I'm petrified. No, I'm not afraid to say it. There was a gentleman who worked for the BBC, and he did 2 documentaries. One a few years back, one a little more recently. And the one he did a few years back shows him trying to interview people and just do a documentary on Scientology. And he's constantly being tailed by Scientology thugs who are videotaping him, getting in the way of him interviewing people. He's interviewing them, and all they're doing is using these mind fuck tactics, calling him a bigot, not letting him finish his sentences. And this is all stuff that he later found out was used as a strategy. They do this to people that try to make Scientology look bad when they're doing these interviews with him. And when you ask them certain questions that they deem subversive, they will just talk over you and call you things like bigot, racist, hateful, don't understand. They'll completely deny these allegations that you come up with instead of answering them, even though they've been proven true. And then the more recent one of the thugs that were following him around turned on the Church of Scientology. And the guy interviewed him. And this was one of the guys that was tailing him and arguing with him. And he literally left the church, turned, and went to him for another interview. And
Why did he turn on the church? Did it have anything to do with the guy doing the interview or no?
No, he wound up, he was in it since he was a kid. And he had to be in his mid-50s now at this point. And he was the head of, like, communications. He was the Goebbels of fucking this whole thing, the minister of propaganda. And he turned because he didn't like the direction the church was going. He still believes in Scientology as a religion, but he doesn't like what the church is doing. He sees it as a money and power grab. has nothing to do with actual religion or feeling good about yourself and helping others and what I guess this guy interprets the religion as being.
So he's a real Scientologist. He's not a Hollywood guy. He's just a guy who this is what he believes.
He was just a guy. This is what he believes. And wow, he was saying, "Oh yes, we were absolutely following you. It was on the order from the highest sources, the people in charge, and they do these things. They drill with these tactics to make you look bad when you're doing these documentaries. They have a list that they follow on how to get these subversives off your back and to discredit them so that their documentary looks like there could be an element of doubt in what they're saying. And that's all you need, really.
But what they don't realize, and maybe it's just this day and age, maybe it was different 20 years ago when there was like just videotape and there was no YouTube.
Yeah.
You can go and see 50 of them doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Or whatever that thing might be. And like Opie said when he was at fucking Occupy, they would do the same thing. You're a sex predator.
Right. That's their tactic.
And it's like, go fuck yourself.
Yes, predator, pervert. And they chant pervert.
Because it shames you publicly.
Right. And that shaming you publicly. That's exactly what happens. And this English guy from the BBC who was... he wound up losing his mind and looked like a stark raving lunatic in there.
Why?
They kept pounding him about being a bigot and being bigoted. And I guess that they found out which buttons to push. And he unloaded and exploded in this fucking temper tantrum, yelling at this guy. And he later was showing how embarrassed he was that he let them get to him like that.
Did the other guy videotape him yelling?
Oh, yeah. They
See,
all
that's okay. So
yes.
What they'll do, the same as what the media does, I guess,
right,
is take that fucking clip. This is the guy,
and it goes out all over the place. It's like, oh, really? This lunatic is he can't even handle himself emotionally, and he's portraying us in an inaccurate light. No, it was. It's
hard to keep your cool under those circumstances, right?
And especially when that's exactly what their job is to just keep hounding you until you crack. But there were a lot of people that were just fed up with the church, left, and were willing to talk.
And this is where Scientology has to realize, if you're a real religion, okay, fine. But this is probably what Catholicism looked like. I mean, much less violent when it was starting. Like a bunch of people, like, what is this? I mean, I'm all for Christ, but what do you mean? It's like, I don't like where this is going.
Yeah. I just don't like this church thing that they're doing. Jesus kind of walking around and preaching love and everything. That's fine. But now, why do I have to cough up so much money to you motherfuckers?
But this is how it starts. This is what it looks like when it starts.
Yeah.
And you can't have like a holy guy anymore because it's, we don't buy that stuff as much.
Yeah.
So now it's...
the magic. We don't buy the magic anymore.
We don't buy the magic like we used to.
Yeah. A lot of people have lost their lives, too, in these weird circumstances of suicides and just people dropping dead. People that gave so much of their money to Scientology that they were left destitute, and kind of once they were through, once the church wrung out their bank accounts, they were just kind of cast aside, and a lot of them wound up committing suicide. It just seems though like I don't think you can really blame the church for that, because it seems like if you get caught up in that kind of thing,
you're as dumb as a Catholic that does it, or a Jew, or any other religious person.
It's almost like this fanatical, cultish thing that maybe you're not mentally stable in the first place, that you're looking so hard for something to satisfy the void in your life, and that when you might start seeing that this ain't really it must give you that feeling of despair, like there's nothing, and you end up, cashing in the old chips.
And what's that? And Katie Holmes was on the inside, obviously.
Katie the Wad Holmes.
As much as an outsider can be.
Yeah.
Because when Tom Cruise is the top of that fucking food chain.
Yes.
And maybe she is worried about her baby. Because I'm wondering, if you don't want to be photographed, why are you in New York City?
Yeah.
Then again, I guess she's working and she has to be here.
She wound up staying in New York as part of her strategy for the divorce.
Why do you think that is? So she's visible?
I think she set up residence in New York. She wants to be able to claim that she lives in New York, so that because she believes New York divorce law will be more advantageous to her as far as custody and
more than
money
California.
Goes. Yeah, California usually they're very weird when it comes to custody battles in California.
Like Cruz may get custody.
Yeah. So she just assumes it'll be better off. Doesn't have that Tom Cruise home field advantage of Hollywood. So that's part of the strategy, I gather.
Oh.
Also, she wants to have her guards around, and I think New York isn't as Scientology friendly.
Oh,
as,
right.
As New York. California is crazy. California and Florida are two real Scientology meccas. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, and I guess she doesn't want to be hanging around that. It's so weird. I was watching it, and it's just all these. This BBC guy interviewed a lot of celebrities too that are Scientologists, and they just. I mean, he was asking questions that were really prying into the religion, but that's his job. He was doing
but a religion, how is it a secret? This is what bothers me about Scientology, is they have things that are like secret, and it's like as a religion, like how could any of that stuff be secret? Maybe Catholicism has secret stuff too that I don't know about.
Yeah.
But shouldn't that shit all be
Kid
open?
touching.
Yeah.
That's their secret.
You know what? Believe me, they're the masters of cover-up of the Catholics.
Yes.
But Scientology, just when you think Scientology, my first thought is wackos.
Yeah.
And it's like, what has happened that I automatically think of that? Because there has to be something good about it. Like, everybody who joins it isn't an idiot. It's not like it's a mecca for there's a lot of smart people that are Scientology. So what is it about it that's very attractive? Like, how do you, with all the bad press they've gotten, and they've got a lot of bad press, what is it about it that people, you know what, forget that bad press. I like this.
Seeing some interviews with the regular Joes and not the Hollywood people, they were walking into the Scientology building and they were being interviewed also. It seems like they were talking about it and saying, it's helped me with my life, it's helped me organize myself and helped me want to do good for others and just giving you kind of a purpose, I guess. I don't know, but people seem pretty happy with it. When you take away the lunacy of the space people and the Thetans and all that shit, I guess it's as good as any other religion.
That L. Ron Hubbard commercial is, I'm telling you, that's what did it. Do you remember the Dianetics commercial?
Dianetics.
Yes.
And the book would come flying out at you.
I'm fat and want to lose weight. Page 170. It was almost like a biblical commercial.
Yes.
Where every problem you could possibly have. Danny, can we find an old Dianetics commercial?
Yes.
It was a brilliant commercial. Because I remember that book and I remember that commercial, and it's like, it was one of those things where it just looked like, wow. There are answers here. It was
there
very
are
well
answers
done.
in that book, and they made it seem like, there's answers.
How can a person suddenly lose confidence?
Page 194. Can your mind limit your success? Page 107. How can you reach your full potential? Page 28 or whatever. It's just one of these, and then a big volcanic explosion.
Dianetics by L. Ron Hubbard is the owner's manual for the human mind. Get your copy today at Walden.
Wow. Owner's Manual for the Human Mind. Who wouldn't want to, that seems like something that's kind of, it didn't preach God or anything.
Right.
It wasn't very religious. It just seemed like a problem solver right there. But then you start getting into what Dianetics and Scientology is all about, and it comes off a little weird. I think people get caught up in it, too, like you get caught up in a video game with levels, because there's a lot of leveling up in Scientology. You start off very low at this certain level, and then through your auditing, they call it, where you hold on to those metal contacts, and they ask you questions and see what affects you emotionally and what's pains you and what's holding you back. And that's what you're dealing with. And then each time you face that, it's supposed to bring the level down off of this auditing machine. And you wind up going up another level. And I know in video games, the whole thing is about leveling up. Yeah. You just, you don't go to bed. You're like, I got one more level. That's what it's like. It's like World of Warcraft with fucking religion.
I'm going to leave Scientology, but I just want to get one more level.
One more level. I just got to level one more. Ma, I got to do this now.
Do we have any Scientologists that listen? I don't know if I've ever, I've obviously spoken to them in the business, but I've never talked to a Scientologist about Scientology. All you do is hear speculation.
Yes.
And we see the videos of the fucking extremely angry people chanting.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, are there any? I would love to know a normal guy that's a Scientologist that goes, nah, you know what? Those are the fringe people.
Yeah.
This is what it's like. Catholics who would say, like, I don't run around and beat myself with fucking olive branches.
Right.
I don't put wounds on myself like they do, or draw stigmata on my hands with red marker.
Yes.
I'm just a Christian. I go to church and I'm a good dude. And
but it seems like that fringe for Scientology is a little more the norm than the fringe, you know? Because, because like you said, we don't really hear from just the regular Scientology people that go and, you know, experience whatever they do. And then when they go home, it's not their entire life revolving around Scientology. I think that's the Tom Cruise, Katie Holmes problem, is she was fed up with that lifestyle because he is so all in with Scientology. I saw some interviews with him. He actually did this interview thing for the Church of Scientology, and the video got out somehow. It was supposed to just be an internal video. And it's him just talking about it, and he just looks like a fucking possessed weirdo.
Really?
Yeah. He's talking about it, and you know, it's just weirdness. Him helping people. And the fact, he was saying things like, you know, I'd like to go on vacations and have fun and do all those things. He goes, but I realize I can't because there's so much work that needs to be done. It's like, this motherfucker has the world by the balls. Katie Holmes is probably sitting there going, what, can we go to fucking, you know, some island in the Caribbean? And he doesn't go because he feels he's got to do work and help people. And then he was talking about how he is dyslexic.
Tom Cruise dyslexic?
Yeah, when he was doing like Top Gun and whatnot, he wanted to get his pilot's license, and he took one lesson and gave it up because he couldn't fucking read and interpret what he was reading as quickly as need be to be a pilot, and it was very frustrating for him. And then when he found Scientology, he was able to fix that without drugs, without any kind of psychology, which they can't fucking stand in Scientology. Right. They think psychiatrists and psychologists are the devil. That is their devil.
Wow.
And he fixed it and said, I now have my pilot's license and everything's hunky-dory. He didn't say how, but he said that it was directly because of the teachings of L. Ron Hubbard.
I wouldn't fly with him. Wait, so he wasn't a Scientologist when he did Top Gun?
No, apparently not. No.
I guess that's in the 80s. When did he become a Scientologist? I can't see.
1990.
Oh, wow.
He got into Scientology. But he was giving this speech up there in front of these Scientologists and at this ribbon cutting at another one of their many buildings that are in really good areas.
Do we have that speech?
Where was it? I think if you just put Tom Cruise Scientology, a lot of shit comes up. And he sounds like a fucking mental patient.
Well, he's their, like...
He is their go-to guy.
He's a great... I'll say this. Maybe his wife gets annoyed that he didn't want a fucking vacation, but this is where maybe he's one of those guys. He's an obsessive worker.
Oh.
But this is why he's 50 and he still looks 25 and he's doing action movies.
That's a different one, yeah. It's one where he's kind of standing in front of a crowd outside.
I thought he was in longer, though. I didn't realize he joined as a...
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was already a star when he joined.
And then the head of Scientology now that took over after L. Ron Hubbard, what's his name?
Miscavige.
David
Miscavige.
Yep. He was the best man at Tom Cruise's wedding. He was the best man at Katie Holmes and Tom Cruise's wedding. Tom Cruise is all in. He walks up to him at one of these events. It's a video. He walks up to the head muckety muck and salutes him. And it isn't like a smile and a salute. They're both standing face to face, saluting each other with the most serious fucking look on their face. It's just weird. I don't know. Anyone who gets that deep into a religion or an ideology like that, it just strikes me as odd. And, we just know him from movies. Look, we really don't know Tom from a hole in the fucking wall. We know him from movies.
So this is the equivalent of him kind of, in adult life, becoming an evangelical Christian or getting all in with Christianity. And you've seen that happen to celebrities before, where they just find God. I guess you're
born again.
Yeah, I guess you've seen that happen plenty of times.
Yeah. There's another one where he's sitting there in a room. It's Scientology number 114, where he's sitting in that room. Oh, I guess this is part of it. Yeah, what's this?
Oh, I think I've seen this.
Have you seen it? Full 40-minute leaked video? Jesus.
To carry it forth.
Who's that?
Let's take it another
Joseph Goebbels. He's the head muckety muck.
Is that Miscavige?
I think it is.
Can I see him, Danny?
Miscavige.
Can you turn this louder?
The zone of influence of the corporate executive could be greater than the housewife, which in turn could be greater than the street sweeper.
They just go off.
That may not seem fair, but neither is life. And it has zero to do with what others might say. No,
literally.
It rests on one's own
look at some of the
shoulders.
allegations.
And it's the individual himself who must know he's doing his
Doesn't
part
it just look weird at the big pompous podium and the big seal behind him with the globe in it? It just looks like a movie where this guy is evil.
Yeah.
It doesn't. That view, what we're looking at there, a guy in a suit. He's got the giant globe, the Scientology symbol around him, a big podium with a microphone. It looks like, you don't look at that and go, well, he seems like a nice guy. You look at that scene and think evil, trying to take over the world.
Exactly. I was going to say, the only people that deliver speeches in front of a globe, like a big globe background, is like a Bond villain.
Right. He's a Bond villain.
Dad, you just coughed and food shot onto the monitor. Oh.
Food got on the monitor.
Oh, yeah, there it is. It's just lettuce, Jimmy.
Oh, okay.
It's just shredded lettuce.
Let us get it off there. I get it because...
I didn't get that.
All right, Chip.
But yeah, he's... maybe that was Miscavige. I don't think I've ever seen him talk before.
It just kind of looks evil. I think this is the Tom Cruise... Oh, no. There's a lot of... Yeah, that's the Tom Cruise part where
that's the interview, right?
Sitting there. Yeah, it's just Tom talking.
That's not a Scientology thing, is it? No, it looks like an entertainment show.
No, this is Scientology. That's a Scientology seal down there. And they're just playing
to really
Mission Impossible music behind it the whole time.
For the first time, effectively change people's lives, and I am dedicated to that. I'm absolutely, uncompromisingly dedicated to that. The orgs are there to help, okay, but we as also the public, it's like we have a responsibility. It's not just the orgs. It's not just Dave Miscavige. It's not just me. It's you. It's everyone out there kind of rereading KSW and looking at what needs to be done and saying, okay, am I going to do it or am I not going to do it? Period. And am I going to look at that guy or am I too afraid because I have my own out ethics to put in someone else's ethics? And that's all it comes down to.
He must just do this all the time.
Because I put it ruthlessly on myself. And I think that I respect that in others. And, I'm there to help. And we're here to help. And
Doesn't he's got like a savior complex.
You're on board or you're not on board. Okay? But just
welcome aboard.
If you're on board just like the
welcome aboard.
Period. We are the authorities on getting people off drugs. We are the authorities on the mind. We are the authorities.
He points understand there's a real here's what
authorities.
What I would love to know what happened to him.
Yes.
It might not have even been something bad. Maybe life was so good and he felt like he wasn't giving back.
Well, he did talk about that. He talks about how he did Color of Money and Top Gun, and he had succeeded. He had reached the point he wanted to reach professionally, but it just wasn't doing it.
Right.
It wasn't. He still didn't feel fulfilled. There was something missing. And he says that this Scientology kind of gave him the missing part. But it seems like the Scientology thing has really taken over. Him in his personal life, like, yeah, okay, I could watch him as on Mission Impossible and other movies, and it's great. It's Tom Cruise, the action guy.
Yeah.
It's Tom Cruise reading other people's words and being a whole different person. But this is Tom Cruise. And something tells me this is Tom Cruise 24 hours a fucking day.
Yeah.
And it's got to get old real fucking fast. Him just yapping about Scientology constantly.
It probably gets a little exhausting. Just that personality would be difficult. Just to be surrounded. He's so
intense with it. He's so serious and intense about it.
Yeah, maybe that's what makes him a great actor, though. I mean, honestly, like he might be one of those guys that whenever he locks on something, he's just that guy.
Yeah.
And he's used to being. I didn't realize he went in as a huge celebrity, though.
Yeah, he had already been a pretty big celebrity at that
I really
point.
thought he was much younger when he joined.
Katie just wanted a box licked or something. Jesus Christ. Wait, fuck?
Who got him involved? Was it... wouldn't have been Miscavige, or was it...
Well, I wonder.
It was
it
first wife?
His first wife?
Mimi Rogers or whatever.
Mimi Rogers?
Mimi Rogers?
Check on that.
Jeez. Boy, they must fucking love Mimi. That's Scientology. 'Cause they apparently love celebrities. They treat them like the upper echelon in Scientology. And one of them, it was a guy that was in G.I. Jane. Some guy was in G.I. Jane, and he was a Scientologist, an actor, and he left. And boy, persona non grata. They don't like him. But he left for the same reasons. He didn't like what was going on with the church itself. So it just became some kind of a money and power grab. It's all about money. And they will squeeze every drop out of these people. The amount of money. And there's allegations of blackmail, too, that when they're doing these audits on people, they videotape it. Yeah. And they made an excuse as to why they have hidden micro cameras in picture frames and smoke detectors. It's not as intrusive when you're being audited to look at the cameras that would be in your face. It would be intimidating, and you wouldn't be as open to it. So they hide the cameras. But everyone knows that you're being recorded, is what they say. Allegations are. They don't know they're being recorded. And what they do is these painful moments when you're being audited show up on the meter on these machines, and they have to get out of you your emotions, what you feel, what hurts you, what you think is in the way of success and feeling happy. It could be something sexually, could be some kind of deviancy, could be something that happened in your past. And when you spout all this out, and they have it on videotape.
Absolutely.
If you want to leave their organization, they approach you. There have been allegations of this, too. People being approached with folders of pictures and video saying, hey, we have all this stuff. You sure you want to leave? And they would, the mindset here is that they would release it to the press, and if you're a high-profile celebrity, you've spilt your guts to these people. They know things that you don't want getting out there, and now you're stuck in the organization.
The only thing that they probably couldn't do, because it would ruin them, is if they have like Travolta or Tom Cruise or any of these big celebrities saying things that are career-ending.
Yeah.
In a confessional.
Yeah.
Scientology would ruin that person. But by releasing that video, would ruin themselves.
Well,
they would be like bringing down Tom Cruise to see a guy like that in a private room holding on to these things.
Yeah.
And when people saw what it was, nobody would ever join Scientology.
You don't
again.
think they have with everything they've done? You don't think they have some kind of contingency plan to actually release this stuff without their hands getting dirty in some way, shape, or form? I don't know, but like you said, obviously they'd be in an auditing room, so the video would have had to have come from the Church of Scientology, but they can maybe say it was smuggled out by somebody that was trying to besmirch the church, and you throw a sacrificial lamb out there, but the bottom line is the information's getting out on the person that they wanted the information out on. I'm sure, watching their shenanigans on these documentaries last night, I'm sure they have it all thought out. They're very organized as far as how to make people look very bad. But this is all, these are the allegations that have gone on. Years ago, no one would have talked about this. I think their power base is not as strong as it used to be. Their intimidation doesn't go as far. And I think that has to do with this openness in media now and social media and people having access to a lot more information. That it makes it a lot more difficult for anybody to really hold on to power these days when there's so much information out there. It used to be, people didn't even really know what these thetans were and the space fucking story until you reached a certain level. Because they deemed this information that could be detrimental if you hadn't gone through the levels to know this immediately. Right when you go into Scientology, you could literally go crazy and die. That was their whole take on it. So they wouldn't tell you about the spaceman angle of Scientology until you had been through a few levels already. But now with the internet and stuff, it's very easy to get that information So you just read up on it and you know all the levels. So they tell people that go into Scientology, do not read anything online about Scientology because it's going to affect how you deal with the church, and you'll be setting yourself back a few levels that you've already advanced if you look at that stuff. So whenever you see a story on Scientology, don't watch.
And there's also a weird thing like I've heard of people who have seen the space angle and then went, what?
Yeah.
Like, I heard, where did I hear that Tom Cruise was shocked when he heard it?
Yes, and I'm not sure if that's their line, if they are supposed to do that. Like, I think they're told, look, this is what the deal is. They're a spaceman, and they did this and that. But when someone asks you, make it look like you don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. I think that's what the church does. It seems there's a lot of deception going on, is all I know. I don't know why or to what end or how detrimental it is to the people that are in there, but it does seem a lot of deceptions going on in that church.
You know, and it's like, you're right, you can't, powerful people, internet, Twitter, any way to tell people, X amount of people something quickly, YouTube, Facebook, it fucking helped bring Mubarak out of Egypt.
It's brought down empires.
It's balancing things. Like if Catholicism, if the Archdiocese of Boston can be closed, or take $1 billion hit, no fucking body is safe. If the Catholics can get hit, anybody can get hit.
It's the biggest weapon to any kind of oppression or tyranny, totalitarianism, infra-fucking-mation.
Yeah.
It brings down empires. The whole job of a power base is keeping people stupid and in the dark about what's going on outside of your little fucking kingdom. And when that information starts oozing in, look what happened with the Soviet Union, even before the internet. Information started getting in. They told their people what the Western world was about. Decadence, horrible homelessness, and they painted a picture of what the West was like, and it wasn't accurate. And once that information got into the Soviet Union, it crumbled. Yeah. Because the people started going, wait, not only is it pretty good out there, but they've been fucking lying to me the whole time. And that pretty much is what brought the wall down. Tear down this wall. So information really does do that. And I think with Scientology, that's kind of what happened. So of late, I don't think they're as powerful at knocking down critics as they used to be. I mean, how far down the line do you go? Everybody that just, is tweeting something bad about Scientology?
Dude, the front page of the Post is mocking. It has a picture of Tom Cruise with spaceman fucking antennas on his head in the Jetsons car.
Spaceman antennas.
I mean, nothing we say is going to be as visually powerful.
Yeah.
And the papers are talking about it constantly. Yeah. I mean, they're not scared.
Yep.
They don't give a fuck, man.
Yeah.
Post, the Daily News. It's like, what are you going to go after all of these? What are you going to do? What is Scientology going to do to Rupert Murdoch?
Yeah, Rupert Murdoch said, he thinks it's cultish and dangerous. No one, especially somebody in the public eye like that, used to say bad things about Scientology because it wasn't worth the hassle you'd get from their lawyers and thugs.
You know what helped?
Else.
South Park.
Oh, man.
South Park brutalized those guys.
Totally.
And survived.
Yep.
And is still going strong, and
Somebody just right. In Soviet Russia, car drives you. all of Yakov's lines are like that. In Soviet Russia, you arrest police. Wait, what? That doesn't make sense. What? Yes, with magnetic dinner trays and genuine linen napkins. Right, we got
it. Terrible selling points.
It was the worst. I still can't get over that. And anytime Russians are mentioned in any context, I can't not talk about those magnetic dinner trays.
How much would you love to go to that show?
I want to so bad.
We should do that. We should have we should go to Yakov's.
Let's go to Yakov's dinner adventure and see those magnetic trays. And see the authentic, genuine linen napkins.
In Branson, Missouri.
He runs that town. He's amazing.
He does, right?
Yeah.
He runs it. Yeah, roadshow. Let's go. Branson.
I don't know if we'd draw down there, though.
I don't know.
If we would have an audience.
Probably not.
Phones are not lit today. They were
Go
before.
To the Brady brunch. Oh, well, this one guy that there is a book called Kingdom of the Cults. I might as well maybe finish up this wonderful Scientology segment with Jesse
Bill T.
Orlando. Hi.
Hello, how are you, gentlemen?
Oh, Dandy.
Hi, Jess.
Well, I'll cut to the chase. There's a book called The Kingdom of the Cults, and the premise is that if you believe that a God exists, then he must be perfect. Therefore, anything written about that religion has to be historically true or cannot be scientifically unproven. And it goes through every religion from Scientology to Mormonism to Jehovah's Witnesses, and basically shows the proof of plagiarism to, I think the Mormons said there was steel swords and metals before steel was even invented. It's phenomenal for all religions to show how they're all pretty much lunacy.
Yeah, they are really. Well, plus the people that are writing, even the people that are writing the books, it's in their vested interest for you to believe every word of it because that kind of keeps them in the position they're in.
Right. Yep. Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Anything else?
So,
I like taking a call because it ends the bit.
Yeah.
It ends the segment.
Yeah.
It ends the discussion. Thank you, sir. Yeah, goodbye. We'll take a break, eat our grub.
And each other.
And, lick our dicks.
Imagine if that's what we did during a break. If we all just ate each other's asses in the studio, how awful break would be.
Oh, God. Wonderful. If, get it? And we'll be right back.
Sirius XM. This is the Opie and Anthony Show.